Everyone, and welcome to our Healthy Living Freedom Revolution event. My name is Tricia, and I'll be hosting tonight. I'm very honored to be doing this, and I'm excited that you're all here. We are here in order to network with mission-driven people on the topic of family health, which is the perfect topic for today. You have been invited because someone truly respects you and cares about you and just wants you to know what it is that we're up to. So this is going to be really relaxed and fun. I promise you don't have to buy anything or sign up for anything. We're just going to share some quick information and some inspiring stories. So we hope that you enjoy listening, and perhaps you'll think of someone in your life needing to hear this message. So thank you for coming. All right, so to kick things off, I want to ask you a question. Would you agree that being healthy today can be challenging? Maybe just a little bit. We know it's our job to try and make that happen, but unfortunately it can be complicated, unpleasant, and even confusing. That's where we come in. I want to introduce you to a movement called the Healthy Living Revolution. Myself, along with thousands of others, are taking our health back in ways that are simple, doable, and fun. The goal at Healthy Living Revolution is to come alongside families who want better health, meet them where they're at, and empower them to make positive changes along the way. Let me take you through the following 3 doorways that we use to inspire healthy living around the world. First, we have our free resources. The team at the Healthy Living Revolution has created a selection of fantastic resources for families to use. We have a cookbook of clean and easy recipes, short webinars on trending health topics, a home fitness series, and a Start Strong program, which is designed to raise up a generation of active, healthy children with a positive body image and good nutritional habits. You may want to take a look at these resources online, so the person who invited you can just send you the link for the Healthy Living Revolution free website. Second, we are committed to helping others through nutrition, which is the foundation of good health. We literally have to flood our bodies with the most important foods we could ever eat, which are raw fruits, vegetables, and berries. They are not just good for you, they're absolutely critical to keep your body working the way it should. We're supposed to eat a wide variety of 9 to 13 servings every single day, but almost nobody does, right? Think about it. How many servings of fruits and vegetables did you have today? Did you get close to 9 to 13 servings today? That's a hard one. And even the best eaters need help. And that's why we are so thankful that we have a nutritional support to offer people called Juice Plus. So what is Juice Plus? I know many of you who know me have heard me talk about it. Juice Plus is literally over 30 raw fruits, veggies, and berries. They're vine ripened whole foods. It's non-GMO and NSF certified to be pure. I like to call it my salad bar in a capsule. And it's important to understand the process that the plants go through to be encapsulated or put into chewable form. First of all, our fruits and veggies and berries are completely vine ripened. They remain attached to the plant until the nutritional value is developed. So unlike the produce that you see in the stores that was picked weeks before it was even ripened, and it's on a truck and now it's in produce, we wait till it's at the peak of its nutritional value. So then all those fruits and veggies are ground up, which is better than juicing because we use the entire whole food, including the peels, leaves, seeds, whenever possible, which provides much more nutrition. So I want you to think about like an orange, okay? Do you know that the peel of the orange carries 80% of the vitamin C in the orange? Well, I don't know about you, but I have not been eating many orange peels lately. So this is really helpful for me. So here's really what I love about Juice Plus. And I have an engineering background, so I love research, but this should be important to everyone. It's scientifically proven. Juice Plus is the most research nutraceutical product in the world with more than 38 published gold standard peer-reviewed medical journals, clinical studies in medical journals. You can find it on PubMed or the NIH, and we have several more on the way in the near future. It's also important for you to know that it is food. It's not a vitamin. In fact, we have a nutrition label, just like you would see on, say, a bag of broccoli in the grocery store. It has a nutrition label, not a supplement label, and all the ingredients are clearly listed. The other thing that is so important and should be important to everyone, there's no warning label. So it's safe for people of all ages, pregnant and nursing mothers, children, elderly, and even professional athletes. Along with the Juice Plus fruits, veggies, and berries, we have a very small product line because we keep it small. We want to be the best at what we do. Our newest product is our Omega Blend. And I don't know how many of you take a fish oil every day and you get those fish burps. Well, we have figured out how to get rid of the fish. We bypass the fish and we go right to the source, which is really what our body needs. And our Omega Blend is made up from 6 plant sources, which makes it both sustainable and safe. They contain the full spectrum of naturally occurring omegas, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 oils, and are encapsulated using brand new low temperature technology, so none of the delicate oils in the capsules are damaged. That's important too. Next, you know, these are my favorite. I have to tell you, I'm addicted to these complete shakes. I can make them into pancakes, protein balls, or protein shakes, all kinds of stuff. But what I want you to know is it's vegan, it's gluten-free, whole food protein, fiber, amino acids, fruits, and veggies in a shake. It's great for a quick breakfast, post-workout recovery, or a healthy snack. In fact, it has the glycemic value of broccoli, and you could have it before bed, and it would be fine. It's crazy. So diabetics, I know, do great on these shakes. So our next product is we have our Juice Plus Complete Bars, easy to throw in your bag and head out the door. And our last product, many of you have probably seen, is our Tower Garden. So we are teaching people how to grow their own food at home. And I can tell you right now, that has been so wonderful for me not to have to run to the store and search for that lettuce and tomatoes and everything else. And I know it's better than organic because I've grown it myself. So that is another thing. If you want more information on that, get with the person who invited you. But now the part that I love about this event is to share stories. We know what Juice Plus is. We know there's tons of research behind it, but I want to introduce you to my friend Cary and have her share her story with you.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. This is such a pleasure. It's great to see a lot of familiar faces as well. And I actually have known about Juice Plus for a really long time. My mom has been in the Juice Plus business for, gosh, I think it's like 26 years now, probably longer. And so she's, shared it with me a long time ago. But at the time, I was actually in college, and it just really wasn't that interesting to me because, when you're in college, you know everything, right? And I was healthy and fit and living my best life, so to speak. And so interesting thing is I had gone to conferences with her and I had listened to the information and the content. And I always in the back of my mind was like, this sounds really amazing, right? Just not for me. But I will say that when I was pregnant for my son, right away, like it was a no-brainer that I was going to use the Juice Plus. I think we just had the fruits and veggies back then. And so that was like a no-brainer for me. I was like, okay, that's what I was going to use for my prenatal. And I wanted to get that nutrition in for my son. And so I had the most incredible pregnancy ever. I delivered this baby and like literally got no sleep because all the nurses were coming in all night long to come see the baby with all the hair. He had like a freakish amount of hair, but I think what we know now is these are just Juice Plus babies that just, you know, have so much good nutrition in them that they're growing long fingernails and hair in the womb. So I had my healthy baby, and I was committed to breastfeeding and continue to stay on the Juice Plus, and had a great, you know, experience breastfeeding. And as soon as I weaned them off, I was committed to breaking open the capsules and getting that nutrition into him. And so there was two kind of things that were happening at that time. I was committed to being a good mom and getting that good nutrition into my son. And at the same time, I think many of us moms, especially, can kind of probably relate that we kind of forget to take care of ourselves. And so I stopped taking Juice Plus for me, but I was really, you know, all about making sure he had everything homemade, you know, homemade baby food and organic this and the Juice Plus capsules. And I really prided myself on that experience that I was giving to my son. Well, that story kind of continues and goes into two different directions. One of the directions was for myself, who's always been healthy. I ended up getting really sick, and it took me about 3 years to get a actual diagnosis, and 3 years of just going to doctor to doctor to doctor, of no one being able to tell me what was going on. And what it ended up being was is that I was diagnosed with lupus, SLE, and what that looked like for me in my life was I was bedridden. When I say bedridden, like I was in so much excruciating pain from head to toe. It was like just to do the basic tasks of life were they were painful. And I had skin lesions all over my face, all over my chest, in my mouth, in my ears. So not only were they really uncomfortable, but they were like really like ugly too. And so I was, you know, self-conscious about that. Meanwhile, my son is still thriving, and I'm still giving him the Juice Plus, and he's growing and active, and you know, all these wonderful things. And I, when the doctor finally said, "Hey, you can get on anti-malarials and you can get on steroids, and we can get this under control," I left that office visit. For me personally, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get on medications, but I had a breakdown, and I was bawling my eyes out. And it was just in that moment that I had decided, you know, I was 35 years old at the time, and I was just not willing. It was not okay for me to just start going down that road of having to be on all those heavy medications. So I went home, and I literally, like right there, because by then we had the trio, the fruit, veggie, and the berries, and I literally was like, this stuff is staring at me in my face. Like I need to start committing myself to getting on Juice Plus. And it was not an overnight magic miracle. You know, I didn't take like a couple of doses and ba-boom. But here's the thing, you guys, like here I am. I am 47 years old now, and I am living my best life ever. I exercise all the time. I have energy to do things, and you know, I just feel so incredibly grateful. I literally forget my story, and I forget that I even had that story. And let me tell you, that is a huge feat in itself, because I was afraid to do anything for so long, because my story was so strong and so painful. So that is kind of like where I went. And then for Skylar, my son, we had such an interesting experience because a little tidbit, I did find out that I actually had Lyme disease, and the Lyme disease is what was like triggering the lupus for me. So we got down to that core. And as I was learning and reading more about what Lyme disease really is and what it really isn't, and all these things, I started to see that it could be passed in utero. And I also started to see like what some of the signs and symptoms were. And although my son was like extremely healthy, he really wasn't getting sick all the time, and you know, actively playing basketball. There was just certain things, like he wasn't a great sleeper. There was just some certain things that I thought, I wonder if he could possibly have this. So the really incredible story starts with this. I had him tested. through the doctor that tested me. And she called me and she said, this was a Friday afternoon. She said, we need to get him in right away on a Monday morning. And I was like, okay, clearly he probably has it, but I've gotten through it, so I know he can as well. So it was just kind of one of those, I had this hunch. We got in, we walked into the office, and I kid you not, I wish there was like a camera and we could have like filmed like what actually went on. So my big, huge, he's 6'3.5", right? He's 16 years old now, but this was 2 years ago. He walks into the office and the whole staff is like, wait, this is Skylar, this is Skylar, this is Skylar. Everyone's saying, this is Skylar. And I'm thinking, this is really weird. Yes, this is my son that I'm bringing in for the office visit. And so the doctor called me back and had a private conversation with me. And she said, she pulled in another doctor as well. And they literally were like, with their pens, tell me everything you did with him since he was born, since he was in utero. And I basically had told them that I was really big into keeping him healthy, and I did Juice Plus and all of that. And she said to me, you saved his life. His levels of Lyme disease were so high that they were so in shock. Everyone in the office were so in shock that he was not only just, fully functioning, but that he was playing basketball, that he was thriving in school. And they expected that the numbers that they had seen, that he would be a really sickly child. And so basically we left that doctor's office and they said, here's the deal. If you guys keep doing what you're doing and you keep taking your Juice Plus and you keep like trying to eat as healthy as possible, like we're not going to even try to treat this, like you are good to go. And that story to me is like, I mean, the doctors got on Juice Plus from that story because they could not even believe how it was possible to see these levels right in our bodies, and to see somebody that's doing so well. So I am very passionate about Juice Plus because it's made a huge, huge difference for not only myself but also my son. So that's my story, and I'm going to pass it over to you.
Wow, that is crazy. That is the power of nutrition. And we just don't pay enough attention to it. But I'm so glad you grabbed those bottles and got them in yourself. So thank you, Cary. So next, I have a guest I didn't have to search far for because he's in my house tonight and we're not allowed to go anywhere. So I said, guess what? Come on with us and share. And so I'm going to turn it over to my husband, John. He is a Phoenix Fire captain, and here he is.
Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? So, Cary, that's just an amazing story that you had there. And what I want to do is kind of share our story. It all began back in 2013. We normally go to California, and we always spend a week over there on the beach. And I remember this one summer, I'm looking at my wife. She's laying on the beach, but she has a big brim hat. She has a long sleeve shirt on. She has a towel over her, and it didn't look fun. It didn't look fun at all. And I'm thinking to myself, this is probably not going to last very long for us, because just looking at her and knowing that she wasn't feeling well and she was in pain all the time in the sun. And so next day we go down to the a little get together, and there's a person down there talking about Juice Plus. So Tricia goes in, she sits down there, and I spend a little time with the manager, and I come in and I'm sitting there, I'm listening to this story, and they're talking about fruits and veggies and berries and all these positive nutritional values that we know they're there, but we don't really talk about them much. So leaving there, Tricia and we started talking, and I said, looking at your lupus and looking at Sean with his cystic fibrosis, this can't hurt. This is something that let's try it, because one of the things that we've always done because of our son's disease is we have looked at what's outside the box. Is there stuff out there that can help us? So we came back from that vacation, and there was a firefighter that I knew that was involved with Juice Plus, and she had started to advertise for it. So we had her over, and it wasn't a hard sell. We just jumped right in. And within a few weeks after that, I remember my wife telling me that she, all of a sudden, her digestive issues that she was, always, having, they seemed to be minimized. And then sooner than, I think it was about a week or two later, they were gone. I don't want to say completely gone, but she can actually eat real food without having issues. At the same time, one of the things with lupus was she was telling me was just walking, the balls of her feet, how they hurt all the time, just the neuropathy and the pain. And she started seeing that to subside as well. So at the time, is it coincidence? Is there something else going on? Really don't know. But over a period of months, what she noticed was that the neuropathy lessened, her digestive issues lessened, and she was not as tired. She had more energy. But again, is there something else going on? Is it she's not having a flare? We're not docs, we don't know, but you just kind of move along in that direction. Well, at the same time, when Tricia started having taken Juice Plus, I did as well, and Sean as well. So that was October 13. We moved fast forward to January. Sean has labs every year. And at the time that he went in, we knew that he was going to have to go on insulin because with his disease, the fibrosis that occurs within the pancreas, most of these kids, as they get older, they end up on insulin. Well, the doctor started talking to us and said, hey, what are you doing? Because he's no longer what they call CF-related diabetes, so CFRD. And the only thing that we changed was the Juice Plus. Adding Juice Plus to his diet, was the only thing that we did. So now here's my wife that's, doing much better after starting Juice Plus. Same with Sean. And, for me, I'm a firefighter. I'm going to start my 45th year next year. Actually, in April 13th, be 45 years. So I think about the sleep deprivation. I think about the inability for us to eat properly. I think about the fact that we're around sick people all the time. I'm older. So I have all these different things, and we have a highest cancer rate amongst occupations out there. So for me, I started taking the Juice Plus, but one of the things that I have my labs every year as well. And my triglycerides were down. My cholesterol was down. Not that my cholesterol was high, but it was lower. And then just overall, just wellness. I'm around, it's not just going on the people that are sick out there. And you see it now with the COVID-19, but it's the guys that are around, they go on the call, they come back, and you're exposed to your coworkers as well. So it's not just, like I said, not just the folks, but it's everyone that we're around each and every day. So for me, this is going to be 6 years for us as far as having Juice Plus, and that was October of 19 was our 6 years. So we're in about 6.5 years. Tremendously changed our job or our health. But here's one of the things that I remember, and we always talk about this, is in when we went back to California a year after we started taking Juice Plus. I remember watching Tricia on the beach, and she wasn't covered in a blanket. She didn't have her big hat on. She didn't have her a long sleeve shirt on, and she was actually active and moving around and enjoying herself. And I said to her, I said, it's nice to have you back. And I don't think that without the Juice Plus added to our daily nutrition, that we would be here in this as we are today. So that's our short story. Went really quick on it, but it's obviously it's made a huge difference in our lives, and it's part of our lives, and we haven't stopped since October of 13, and we'll continue nutritional journey. So thank you all.
Thank you, John. Wow. Okay, so it's a little different for me to hear him tell the story and be on here. So let me just regroup myself and move on here. And just so you guys know, this month, March, it was 5 years I've been off weekly cancer drugs and daily prednisone. So it's been life-changing for us. So next, I just want to move into the next part of this talk, which is the Freedom Revolution, which is our business community. And it's important for you to know, you don't have to do the business to eat Juice Plus. But the main mission of the Juice Plus company is to bring freedom through improved health. And it's important to know that about 80% of our Juice Plus is used by just happy customers who have no affiliation to the company. Serving these customers are those of us who have partnered with Juice Plus as a business opportunity. We are paid very well to do a lot of good. So as you listen to our stories, perhaps you think of someone in your life who may need to hear what's possible, especially with what we're dealing with out there today. So first, I just want to address two questions that we get regularly. One, how does it work? Well, the business is open to anyone 18 years and older. It's called a virtual franchise, and it's $52 a year to own. Representatives have an online office and a personal website. We run our business from anywhere, anytime. And we simply share the Juice Plus products, and the company does the rest. I mean, they manufacture the product, they deliver, they bill and collect from customers, and they pay us by direct deposit monthly. There's no inventory for us to keep. The only Juice Plus that we touch is our own. All commission levels are permanent, so there's no demotions, no quotas or minimums, and there's freedom to choose individual pace. You can make this business as big or little as you choose. There's no glass ceiling or income or territorial restrictions. The Juice Plus company is in over 20 countries. So what is so great about the Juice Plus company? Well, it was formed nearly 50 years ago by the same president and founder that we have today. He's still at the helm, Jay Martin. We are privately held, multi-billion-dollar company. We have family benefits packages at the top positions, including medical, dental, disability, life, long-term care, chiropractic, prescriptions, college assistance, oh my gosh, holiday bonus, monthly allowance. This business can produce short-term cash or be a long-term wealth building and retirement strategy. And by the way, not only does Juice Plus Company inspire healthy living, but giving as well. And that was so important to me. We are the Title I sponsor for the Juice Plus, for the St. Jude's Marathon. We built the Target House for families to stay when their families are getting care. And there's a ton of other charities that we help and provide for. So if you want to know more about that, you can get with the person who invited you. But next, I'd love to hear from Cary. Besides a product, what was it about the business that attracted you to take that route as well?
Absolutely. And first, I just want to say thank you, John, so much. It's so sweet to hear. I've known your story for so long, but it's so sweet to hear his perspective and how he shares it. And I'm so grateful for his service and, everything, you guys. And, a huge part of why I love this business so much is the community. And so many of you that are on the call, I just adore. And you, Tricia, and John, I just absolutely love and adore as well. And I consider like family, So that was a huge part that actually attracted me. Was just seeing like over the years, like I had said, I had gone to different events with my mom and my dad, and just seeing kind of like the relationships that they were building. Now, mind you, my background, I'm actually a certified health coach, and I have worked in as a health coach or sorry, I'm like losing. I've been in the health industry for over 20 years, and I actually was also the designer of an award-winning comprehensive health education curriculum, K through 6th grade. So I've worked a lot in the schools, but health has been my passion for over 20 years. And so one of the things that for me made sense is I was out there, I was super passionate about, working with people and making a difference. And I was already inspiring healthy living, wherever I could go. But I was trading dollars for hours. And it was actually my dad that said, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel with this business that I had, sharing my curriculum? And he said, for $52 a year, you can have your own virtual franchise, and you don't have to have the overhead, and you don't have all the the stress and the hassle of trying to like manage all facets of what it takes to be a business owner. And so that actually really was appealing to me as well. So it was not only the community of people, but it was also just the fact that I was already so passionate about the Juice Plus products. I knew exactly what it had done for me. I knew exactly what it had done for my son. And to be super honest, as a certified health coach, like the number one thing when I'm like doing my intakes with people, like I'm trying to find out like where they're falling short in different areas. And hands down, everyone is falling short in eating enough fruits and vegetables these days. So again, it's just a no-brainer for me to passionately share Juice Plus, and I might as well, create a team and create an income from that as well. So I also love the time flexibility and the freedom. Being a single mom, I have not had to miss any of Skylar's events. The endless amounts of basketball events, which I so greatly miss right now, as I'm sure you guys are missing all the crazy events that we used to complain about having to go to. It's really a change, but I am beyond grateful that we work from home and that we can do events like this already on Zoom. Now, all these people scrambling to try to figure out how to do Zoom, and we've been doing Zoom for a long time. So this is just another amazing opportunity for us to just keep doing our business, to keep sharing something, a product that is going to make a difference. The business is going to make a difference with people every single day in anybody's life. It doesn't matter if we have a crisis like this going on, or it's just, business as usual. This business and this product can definitely make an impact in people's lives.
That's for sure. Thank you so much, Cary. And instead of me telling you my business story, I want John to tell you how my business has helped our family.
Cary, you mentioned about the community, and that is, if you think about the Juice Plus community, everyone that's involved is because they want to be there. So when I look at how many people have you worked with over the years in corporate America, they go to work, but they really don't want to be there. And this was an opportunity when I saw just how passionate Tricia was about Juice Plus and the community and her health and just helping people feel better and get better. This was a no-brainer. I mean, to support my wife as far as from a business aspect, where she gets up in the morning and she has a plan of what she's going to do, who she's going to help, how she's going to reach out to people, and that's huge. And she can do it right from home. We travel quite a bit, and I can't tell you. I mean, we were in New York or Nashville or California, where she said, "Hey, I've got customers I need to take care of," or jumping on a Zoom. And how many people can say that they can do that, work their job any place that we go, and not have to miss on those things? When Sean was born, one of the things we realized was that his disease, he may not live a full life. And we have an older son, and we did a lot of different stuff over the years with him. But there was a lot of times when Tricia was in corporate, in the corporate world, where she missed out. And I did the same as far as working in the fire department. But how many of us can say that we have a job that we don't have to miss out? We just make it part of our day where we can you schedule your time, you work your business, and then it allows you also time to be able to have that flexibility, which I think a lot of us would love, and be able to do your job regardless of where you are. And to have that expendable income, the additional income and the benefits of the company. And how many people, I think it was 3.2 million people that were laid off last week or filed for unemployment. I mean, all of you are still working because this is your business. So I think, when I look at this and I remember, when they were doing layoffs in 2001, I remember how many people were impacted by it. And now I'm not worrying about that with my wife, and I'm not worrying about it with us. So that's how I look at it. Just that flexibility, having her here, being able to grow, be with our kids as they were growing up, helping me with my mom who's in an assisted living home. I mean, firefighters, a lot of times our crazy schedules, we're not always there, but Tricia's able to help out and still do her job and enjoy what she does. So that's my story.
All right, good story. So I want to wrap it up. If you know me, I'm a talker. I just want to add two little stories to this before we close tonight. When he talks about the corporate world, I was in the corporate world. I worked 40 hours plus every week, crazy. I was a top performer, perfect attendance, perfect everything, perfect appraisals. Then I had my son. And one day I went into work and I had security at my office, and I was told I was being let go as part of a layoff. A layoff. Well, there was no layoff. And that afternoon, I mean, I was in shock. I came home, I get a call from somebody at the plant, and he said, listen, I don't want to lose my job, but you need to know you were set up. And I said, why? And he said, because they didn't think with your son's diagnosis that you would be the same dedicated employee you've been. So my point is, I've known for a while. I mean, I was raised where you went to work for someone and you worked hard and they took care of you and you retired and everybody was happy. But you know what? That's not the world today. And now more than ever, we're seeing that. And I can't stress enough how important it is for people to have multiple streams of income. If it's not this that you'll be passionate about, find your passion and develop that. But if there's something you heard tonight, or you just want to ask the questions, please do that. Because it doesn't matter what day it is when I'm out in the world and I ask people, how are you? One of three things will come up. Health, they don't have enough time, or their finances are short at the end of the month. And we have such a solution to help people. And so I want to leave you with that. And one more thing. Because I'm from New York and I talk a lot. But my parents worked their entire life. And I know we're running over tonight, but I'm going to keep talking and you could stay. My parents worked hard. They raised 4 kids. They worked so hard. And they saved for this dream retirement, this dream home on the lake. And you know what? They got that. My dad retired. They bought their house. And in the process, he was diagnosed with cancer. Esophageal cancer. It wasn't even something he should have had. He didn't smoke. He didn't do any of that. He left my mom alone in that dream home on the lake. And shortly after she was diagnosed, and I'm not saying that Juice Plus is going to cure cancer or lupus or cystic fibrosis or anything, but I say this because we can't keep thinking that we are going to live healthy forever. We have to take control of our health. We can't wait for our doctors to do it. We can't wait for the government to do it. And we have to start knowing that our health is an investment. It's an investment, okay? It's not an expense. And now is the best time for us to know that. So I just ask that you take a serious look at your health and your family's health, your grandchildren's health, everybody's health, and let's start making it a priority. I hope that everyone can keep sane through this quarantine that we're in, and that we all come out of this as safe as we can. And I really thank you for joining us tonight. I just want to wrap this up with, there's a few people here that we would love to partner with. Maybe you have more questions, or maybe there's something about this business that interests you, especially at this time. Or maybe you just want to get your family's health on a better track. Whatever it is, we appreciate you spending this time with us tonight, and we hope that, God bless and everybody be safe.